Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life. Hey everybody, it's Brian Smith with the Daily Influence, and this is our last episode this week, and it's been kind of a deep week for us. We went long 2 days ago, and yesterday we went a little long again, but not as long as the first one. But this whole week and next week have been about who am I, and the different parts of who am I that influence us and make us, well, who we are today and who we were in the past, and how that past self are the roots. They don't define us, but they have roots to who we are today. I'm going to start by going back to a story that I started when I was talking the other day about having a client ask, well, Brian, why do you do what you do? Why do you choose to consult with one company one day, hop on an airplane, go to another company, hop on an airplane, go to another company at this time of your life? It's a good question. Our organization has grown fairly large. We're global. We have an amazing team all over the world. And truth be told, I don't have to consult every day to make a living. I consult every day because I love it. And unfortunately, that wasn't a good enough answer for the team at my client's office. The three people specifically, they wanted a deeper understanding. They wanted to understand really, but why? Why? Just because you like it isn't a good enough answer. So they pressed me. And pardon me, I'm going to read out of here. Those of you that can see me on YouTube will note that I often look at my notes. It just helps me to recall and be consistent and be as direct as I can and not digress. But I learned as a child, as we talked about, we moved around a lot. We were left alone a lot. I don't like change. I don't like surprises at all. What influence does that manifest today is that I learned that I don't like, or I was often left alone to make decisions and fend for myself and my sister. I had to find a way to overcome the generalizations and the stereotypes that were put on us as young children and through our teen years, through all that means, from the cliques that we belong to, the influence of the socioeconomic issues we faced, the lack of or overabundance of diversity where we grew up, the lack of support, not love, but the lack of support. We had a lot of love, I think, but just not a lot of support as young people. And with my particular situation, at first it was working for money. But what I did learn through self-reflection is that working for money is as shallow as dating just because somebody's good looking. There's not a lot behind that. I realized that I did not want others to feel that isolation. I didn't want them to be left alone to solve problems. And a lot of people aren't really good at solving their own problems on their own. Having somebody to share problem resolutions with, just to talk about it. Is this a good decision? Is this not? I enjoyed that part of what consulting is. So to a deeper level, being left alone as a child, not liking change, not liking surprises, which are all things that come from being a leader, being able to provide for people that sounding board, that support, and to be good at it because I understood what it felt like negatively, even though it was subconscious, it's become conscious, to feel like I was on an island, to feel like I was siloed. That is the deeper purpose that drives me to be the best consultant that I can be for all of our clients, whoever they end up being. It's also why I love it. I get a lot of personal satisfaction from it, But I don't do it for my satisfaction. I do it for the satisfaction of seeing other people positively influenced by my experiences, my foundation, my education, and seeing them take that information and turn it into a positive for them and theirs in their areas of influence. This goes back to our roots. It all came, my understanding of my self-worth and my worth to others all came from my timeline review and understanding my roots, understanding what drove me. Because look, we all have to work. Yes, I know there's exceptions. There's people out there that don't have to work, but most of us have to work. We have to work for our basic needs: food, shelter. Maslow's hierarchy is alive and well. And so we work for those things: self-preservation, the preservation of our family and those that we're responsible for. So I have learned that providing people with the best opportunity to be self-sufficient, the best opportunity to understand how to solve problems and move forward, I am helping them to reach that foundational goal that we all have as humans, which is made up of Maslow's hierarchy. And so I really, really feel good about what I do, which makes me love being a consultant, and being a consultant that meets the basic foundational needs of humans makes it even that much better. The end of that is that who I am today is deeply rooted in my childhood. Still doesn't define me, though. It just helped shape. Really what it did is it helped me understand my behaviors and helped me understand how to be my best self and how to apply myself that much better to doing what it is that I already love to do. In my younger days, to overcome these things, I would brag about my accomplishments. I would sometimes pretend to be better than I was. My companies were better than they were. And I did that to try to fit in. It was my insecurity of overcoming this gap between who I felt I was and who I thought I wanted to be. When Renee and I were younger, our roots got in the way of even how we chose our friends, which manifested itself like this. We met people who were above our station. We put ourselves into financial risk to try to keep up with those people who were above our station. And we did it for unhealthy reasons, not healthy reasons. It wasn't an investment in something to get us somewhere. It was in the moment. It was distracted by, going too fast, superficiality. It was a distraction of who we really are and really taking advantage of our roots of our past and building on that and trying to leapfrog over what that understanding can bring you and take you someplace else. There's a lot of risk in trying to go from here to there without understanding if your roots, if your foundation can handle where it is you want to be. This is why a lot of people who come into money quickly and early lose it all very quickly and early. It is why when people get instant success, they often lose that success. They lose that over in a very short amount of time. They're not prepared. They don't have that foundation. They haven't come to grips with their roots. It's why some people react so negatively. And by negatively, I don't mean as in hurting people, but why they become so arrogant or so individualistic about their success when they really haven't been humbled. They really didn't build on the roots of who they are. My cycles of trying to fit in ultimately really showed me how to accept who I am. And I'm still on this journey. Every day I learn more about myself. Every day I take the time to do that. Every time I meet a new person, a new client, a new interaction, I take the time to slow down, be respectful of the time that I'm using and the people that I'm meeting and the situation that I find myself, and try to find a way to make it more of a positive influence on me. So tomorrow I am still the best person I can be for myself and for others. This self-realization, it's your chance to reframe you. It's your chance to be the most positive individual influence in your particular area of influence that you have. Doesn't matter what that is. Whatever that is, it's important because you matter. Your influence matters. Your past matters. Your roots matter. And everything about you and your life matters. So if we can give you some takeaways that help you to make it the best for you and the best for those that are influenced by you, then we're doing exactly what we set out to do here. The key takeaways for today about roots is consider where you came from and how your upbringing has influenced who you are today in ways that may or may not be obvious. Take the time to invest in yourself. Go through the timelines, go through the introspection. Take the time to understand yourself a little better and why you are who and how you act the way you are. Have self-realization or use self-realization in linking your motivations to your experiences and finding what your passions are and how does that propel you to move forward. I would argue it's not always about money. Actually, rarely is money the real cause. There's something underneath that. It could be notoriety. It could be fame. Whatever it is, understand it, look at it, and ask what drives it. Why do you want to be that person? What is so important about that? As we talked about, this who am I self-reflection is really the hardest part, I think, of the work that we do. This week we started with ego, and we went through self-reflection and got to roots. Next week we are going to dive into a whole week of who am I, and that's how difficult this topic is. And we're going to talk about who do you want to be, celebrating yourself and why that's important, what self-deception looks like, your intuition, and the clarity of yourself. I hope you have a great weekend. I look forward to talking to you again next Monday, and have an amazing day.